So today I'm gonna remove the JB Plus box. I'm gonna take the car to get dyno runned and we'll see what the stock power is. Remove the JB Plus pretty much the same way we installed it, which means pop the hood with the hood open and all the doors closed, lock the car, and now we'll wait 5 minutes for the ECU to go to sleep, and then we'll remove the JB Plus. First, let's make good access by removing the engine cover, and as always, removing the engine cover is a piece of cake. So, pull that back. That came out very easily. Push down on this white thing, but it's not pushing it down enough, so I'm gonna use a screwdriver. There you go. So that's the only way to do it, is to use the screwdriver here and lift it up. So the JB Plus is off. There's a little mark here, I guess, where it's been vibrating, and let's plug the connector back in. So driving with the JB Plus for the last 2 months, I've become really used to the way it handles, the way it gives you that extra boost at a certain point in the RPM range. So I'm looking forward to driving the car now and seeing if it feels different, if it feels noticeably different without it. But yeah, I can see some kind of small damage to the plastic, I guess, where the engine cover makes contact with the JB Plus. So the JB Plus makes contact with the engine in a couple of places, and obviously it's the one receiving the damage, but I don't like that. I don't like the fact it's becoming damaged itself and damaging the engine. So after driving the vehicle for around 60 kilometers back in stock power, I arrived at the dyno. The technician hooked his laptop to the OBD port and recorded baseline data from the ECU for a custom Stage 1 map. At the same time, the car was prepared, and we performed a couple of dyno runs in stock power configuration. The first runs showed the car was capable of achieving 286 horsepower at the wheels, which is about 337 to 343 horsepower at the crank. So the car is pretty much bang on in terms of BMW's figures of 335 horsepower. Just to highlight that the ambient temperature was a whopping 37.5 degrees centigrade, so probably some power loss resulted from this. I then reinstalled the JB Plus, following the usual guidelines, i.e. closing all the doors, locking the car with the hood open, and waiting 5 minutes for the ECU to go to sleep before interfering with the engine. The dyno runs with the JB Plus showed 299 horsepower at the wheels, so approximately 360 horsepower at the crank. Just to note that the JB Plus was checked, and it was indeed in the default setting, the 3 o'clock position, which delivers 4 psi of extra boost. The JB Plus therefore really does work, but only offers a small increase in horsepower. But I guess it was to be expected. I guess this test was slightly unfair for the JB Plus, because the car was not driven for a few minutes or a few kilometers to let the ECU adjust. But then, the custom Stage 1 tune was loaded after the JB Plus was removed again, and a final set of dyno runs was performed. The tune took into account the fact that the car is pretty much stock, and not even an air filter has been changed. The results, well, they are 360 horsepower at the wheels, which equates to about 370 horsepower at the crank. Torque at the crank also went up from stock to JB Plus to Stage 1 tune, ending to around 530 Newton meters. Overall, I was quite pleased with finding that the car was not underperforming in stock configuration. This means if I'm not achieving the 0 to 60 times of 4.6 seconds, this is not really the engine's fault. The best 0 to 60 times I had achieved with JB Plus were 4.83 seconds, verified time and with slight inclination. As for the Stage 1 tune, well, it only achieved modest results, but I am told over the next 300 kilometers the car will adapt and possibly another 20 horsepower may be evident. Anyway guys, it was a hell of a day. Let me know what you guys think about the results.